Hello. Hello, everyone. It is September 27th, Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. I hope you're doing okay tonight. I'm doing all right, and we're going to have some fun. So, welcome everyone who's watching later the rebroadcast. We have a lot going on this week, the biggest one being the Kaggle competition, community Kaggle competition that we've launched about corn. It's all about corn, nothing but the corn. And that GPU back there, that 3080 Ti, is up for grabs to whoever wins it. So let's go ahead and check in. Let's go ahead and check in on that Kaggle competition. Is there anyone in chat who wants to say hi? No one's here yet. That's the thing about starting your stream right away without a little bit of a delay. Then it takes some time for people to get in here. Not like we ever have like thousands of people waiting to get in, but you know, you want to wait at least for a few. Hey, look, we have Samrit. Did I say that right? Saying hi on Twitch. How's it going, Samrit? Welcome, first time chatter. How did you find the channel? Let me know. All right, so as we get started here, a few things I want to talk about on today's stream. Number one being the Kaggle competition we have going on. Although I don't want to get too much into details. Hey, we have another Juvilite. Julio. Julio, I think is the better way to say it, is also in chat. We also have Prime. Welcome, Prime. So we're going to get into the corn Kaggle competition. We're not going to get into too many details because we're close to the end there. And like, you know, when there's a week left in a competition, I think it's not good to talk too many details, but we'll look a little bit at what's going on the leaderboard, maybe answer one of the questions. We have Nick, welcome in chat. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Sound is okay. Let me know if sound is okay. If not, then I need to fix something because hopefully it's okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get myself situated here. Probably should have done this before I started the stream, but you know, sometimes you just got to do it live. We'll do it live. We will do it live. Bring up Kaggle here and switch my view over to here. We're at beautiful Kaggle screen we got going on here. Maybe crop that. Bring that down. There we go. So let's do Pog Champs, which is our competition. Go to competition. It's Pog, it's corn. Pog Champs competition is underway. Hey, Nick Haas, welcome to the chat. I do kind of want to start a club at my college focused on ML stuff. 3D, that's awesome. That would be a really fun group to form at your college. Let me know if I can help in any way. You could make a Kaggle competition very easily using community stuff, and people will be probably could easily join. You're starting my master's here in April. That's awesome. In data science or not data science related? Okay, let's check out the leaderboard. Sanskar has been just killing it at the top of the leaderboard since the competition launch. So thumbs up to you. We also have a second place Need GPU with a crying cat. I like that. And Blancher. Now, one thing to keep in mind, don't rely too much on this leaderboard. As you can see up here at the top, this public leaderboard is calculated with only 20% of the test data. So I don't want people to focus too much on this. There can be some movement on the private leaderboard. But our competition has 6 days to go, as you can see. If you don't already know it, this competition, you can join with the opportunity of winning this prize, this RTX 3080 Ti. What else? Possibly a chance at winning a Deep Learning Institute voucher. You can register for NVIDIA's GTC late. I think it's still okay to register late. And you can join one of the sessions That's the only requirement really, other than following me on YouTube and on Twitch, which I hope you are already if you're watching this. So plenty of ways to potentially win this GPU and some other stuff. The GPU is right behind me, the real life GPU. Surides says, in computer engineering, I couldn't do the data science degree since my funding is from the ECE department. Ah, I get you. Okay. Well, ECE, data science, there's a lot of crossover in engineering and data science stuff, right? Do most schools have a data science department these days? Is that how it works? Or is that like through the computer science department? I don't know how things work. When I was in school, it was like data science, or I guess software engineering, that sort of stuff was different than computer, or it was different than like engineering. At least at the start. And then they switched it into the engineering department. Oh, my chat's all messed up. I can't read what you're saying. Let me get this down. There's a bachelor's degree to ML in the works. But that'll be through the math department. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that it would. I guess machine learning is kind of like applied math, so that makes a little bit of sense, but I didn't realize that. Okay, so code, let's see what's going on here. It's Corn. They have some fast AI baselines, reproducible runs. I think I saw this notebook the other day. Basically, is it setting seeds? Yes. What's this question mark set seed? Is that something you imported? So this sets seed for random, NumPy, PyTorch, CUDA, makes CUDA deterministic. Very cool. So in theory, so when you're training deep learning models, it's always hard to get the exact same results each time you train. And you have to do these set seeds. So I guess there's a function to help you do that in a bunch of different parts of your code automatically. And there's a lot of set seed functions I see around Kaggle all the time. Learning to deal with image data set. This is a new one. Broken. So, okay, so it's looking only for broken ones. So the one thing I would say about this is you can use the query method instead of writing these long, like especially for these quick, like filtering of data sets. Writing a query method can be a lot better than writing this out for Python. Just one tip. And then are these being concatenated together eventually? Not sure why there's so many subsets of the data frames being made. Then looking at some of the image stuff, this looks good. It'd be nice to put this model building into a function too, to kind of keep it separated out. But still, it looks like they're just building the neural network from scratch. So the model's training. The model's training. That's better than a lot of people do. Making final predictions. What does this get on the leaderboard? 0.65. Very impressive for just like a own built neural network. Corn F1 score of 71%. Nice. We got some custom callbacks in this code. Yeah, a lot going on here. Yeah, thanks to everyone who made a notebook. This is very awesome. So, like I said, I don't want to get too much into this competition because it's 6 days until it's to end. So I don't want to say anything on here that'll change up how people are working on their solutions. I'm going to let people just go. I encourage people not to share any high scoring notebooks towards the end of the competition. And since this was a short one, we're kind of in the end of it right before we started even. So yeah, I will make a discussion thread about that. If anyone in chat has any other questions about this competition, let me know. Otherwise, I was thinking we could look at some of the active ones. There are some that I have not even worked on at all. This enzyme stability prediction competition came out. So I guess here is a poll that I will make on Twitch, which is, what should I work on tonight? Let's say I have like an hour and a half of streaming. We can do enzyme stability. Create a Kaggle data set. Or something else. I don't know. I'm going to start this poll. Let's see what people say. It could be fun to make a Kaggle data set. So I've kind of... hey, Siavash says hi in the YouTube chat. What's up? How's it going? Welcome everyone, and feel free to come on over to the to Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, and then yeah, let me know in Twitch chat what you think. Hey Robert E, what's up? How's it going? Create a Kaggle data set is winning. So to remind you, I have been trying to make data sets that people like on Kaggle, and no one seems to like them as much as I do. Spend way too much time on ones that can't get trending. It's just hard to make things trend on Kaggle. So gold medals are very hard to get with data sets. The only gold medals I've been able to make, and if I show my data sets by most votes. Hey, wait, we got someone new in the family. Welcome, Thai Giadoni. Welcome to the family. Hope you're doing well. Let me know in chat how you found the channel. That would be great. So it would be fun to try to make a new Kaggle data set tonight. We could look up data sets. I think we had at one point looked at like food nutrition facts. That would be kind of fun to look at. Why are there a test file in a test folder? Prime, what are you asking about? A test file and a test file. Oh, in the corn competition? That's because the test folder contains all the images, and the test CSV contains just the unique ID names of all the images in the test folder. I think it also will give you additional metadata of if the image is from the top or the bottom. There's $2,500, $25,000, sorry, in prize money on the line, so. All right, we got a tie. We got a tie on this. I don't know what that means. I guess that means I can look at this data. I can look at this competition, and if it doesn't look that interesting, we can move on to something else. So, like I said, I know nothing about this competition. I know nothing about enzymes or how to identify thermostable mutations in enzymes. So we're going to learn here together, okay? This just launched 6 days ago. I guess it launched a while ago. I didn't see any notifications of it. So they've been keeping it hush hush. There are 320 teams. So let's go through some of the things that I look at when I first join a competition. First thing is, look to see how long it's been up for 6 days. There's 320 teams. And then I'm not gonna lie. First thing I do is I look and I see on the leaderboard, do I recognize any of these people high up? Top 2 people I do recognize. Third place person is Notebooks Grandmaster. So it seems like there is some interest from people who have been around the block on Kaggle, which is always a good sign because that means that it might not be a competition that's a waste of time. Because if you look at this in the top of the leaderboard are all people, all first timers, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad competition, but it means that it might be more of a luck competition than a skill and data science competition. The other thing that I go and look at is on the leaderboard, what is the gap in scores? Now it's still so early on that there's going to be, you know, a big change. Oh man, this is like a new link thing they added here to the right side, this join thing. I don't know why. Is this a new feature? Team introduction? So, yeah, so these scores are not going to hold until the end of the competition. They're just kind of like everyone's first stab at the problem. But you see that there's a significant jump between Chris's score and Hang's. And then from there down, it looks like it's pretty evenly going down until this 399. And then there's a lot of people at 399. Is there a public notebook that's 399? Maybe. That's one thing we can check next. Did you just start? I want to know about this competition. I just started and I've admitted that I know nothing about it. So we're going to learn together. For the club, I do want to start a team of students at my college. You should definitely do that. Just don't share with your teammates unless you're actually a teammate on Kaggle. You can't join a competition then share information outside of that. So just warning about that. Hey, Juvitor, how do I say that? Welcome. How's it going? Found the YouTube channel while looking for videos about cross-validation. Nice. You watched my cross-validation video. No one watches that video. I'm glad that you did, though. I think it's one of my most important ones. So thanks for hanging out here with us on Twitch. We're looking at this competition. Nozyme's enzyme stability prediction. Okay, so we looked at the leaderboard. We know it's 3 months to go. Then we're going to read a little bit of this description. Usually I get bored of them and move on before I read it all. But let's just get the gist of it. Understanding and accurately predict protein stability is a fundamental problem in biotechnology. Its applications include enzyme engineering in addressing the world's challenges in sustainability, carbon neutrality, and more. Whoa, I didn't know it was that big of a deal. Improvements to enzyme stability could lower costs and increase the speed scientists can iterate on concepts. Iterate on concepts, okay. Novozymes find enzymes in nature and optimizes them to use in industry, and industry enzymes replace chemicals and accelerate stuff. In this competition, Novozymes invites you to develop a model to predict. So this is like the meat of it. To predict/rank the thermal stability enzyme variants based on experimental melting temperature data, which is obtained from Novozymes' high throughput screening lab. You'll have access to data from previous scientific publications. The available thermal stability data spans from natural sequences to engineered sequences with single or multiple mutations upon the natural sequences. If successful, you'll help tackle the fundamental problem of improving protein stability, making the approach to design novel and useful proteins like enzymes therapeutics more rapidly and at lower cost. That's a mouthful. I still don't know what we're trying to do in this competition. Hey, welcome to the family, Green Scars. Glad you joined. Sounds like a bunch of academic mumbo jumbo. It does. It does. But hey, I'm sure it makes sense. It just, when you're trying to quickly get an idea of what's going on in this competition, I just want to know what I'm trying to predict. I'm predicting/ranking the thermal stability of enzyme variants based on their melting temperature data. If something melts, does that make it not stable? I don't know. All right, let's see how we submit. Submissions are evaluated on the Spearman correlation coefficient between the ground truth and predictions. Okay, that's a very easy metric to use, I guess. Spearman's rank correlation. So this is a ranking metric. I believe that means that it only matters if how well you rank, like kind of like area under the curve. The target value, if you predict it in the correct order, that's what matters. Each sequence ID represents a single mutation variant of an enzyme. Your task is to rank the stability of these variants. Yeah, assigning greater ranks to more stable variables. So this value, I think, this TM value could be anything. Any numeric value, I'm guessing. The file should contain a header, will have the following format. Okay. Timeline, prizes. Let's look at the data, shall we? Data is the fun part. We only have a train CSV? Oh, let's also see if this, do we submit? Oh, we submit predictions just from a CSV file. So that's interesting. These competitions are always fun because you can just ensemble models like crazy. So it's not very common these days to have competitions where you actually can submit offline computed results. Green scars. Rob knows about EAAs. What's EAAs? It's trying to make a tabular data competition sound cooler than it is. I think it might be a cool competition. Even I think tabular competitions are usually cooler, personally. Image competitions are fun and all. I know we're doing that with the corn competition, but a lot of times it comes down to all these weird augmentations that you just have to experiment with. Tabular stuff, a lot of times you can like actually be a little bit more creative, but they're both fun. You could find a cure for something, who knows? Yeah, I don't understand what this sentence means. Improvements to enzyme stability could lower costs and increase the speed scientists can iterate on concepts. Still thinking about that one. All right, the data. Developers. In this competition, you are asked to develop models that can predict the ranking, blah, blah, blah. We know this. For the training set, the protein stability experimental melting data includes natural sequence as well as engineered sequences. The data are mainly from different sources of published studies, such as these. Many other public data sets exist. Okay, so can we, like, is it going to become a data scraping competition? Is it going to be, so they're telling us that this data set comes from prior publications, which I'm guessing we could go and find apart from this. But they're saying many other public data sets exist for protein stability. Please see competition rule 7C for external. So what is 7C? What does 7C say? Because they're specifically telling us to look at it. You may use other data to develop. However, you will ensure that external data is publicly available and equally accessible. Oh, so what happens a lot with these type of things is people find these data sets and then they don't tell anyone about it, even if they're public. Why would you tell anyone about it? Yeah, so that could happen. Enzymes are like natural catalysts. It makes chemical reactions occurs or increase their velocity. Okay. Could equals, I want to make a claim without being liable. Oh, so is that lawyer speech? Hey, Lisis, welcome to the family. How's it going? Oh, you know, EAA is protein and stuff. It's made of chain amino acids. Yeah, I know all about that. There are also other publicly available methods which can predict protein stability, such as these. Okay, so I think I saw a notebook already where someone was using AlphaFold or something. So this is basically saying like everything's fair game. It seems to me like this competition is saying the CSV file that we're giving you, that's 16 megabytes or whatever it is, isn't really, it's 15.6 megabytes, isn't really all that you are going to use to train your models. You're either going to use some existing models out there, blending of existing models, or you're going to maybe use this training data, but probably use it in combination with some other public data out there. The test contains experimental melting temperature of over 2,413 single mutation variant of enzyme. Amino acid sequence of the wild type is... What is this nonsense? Let's see what people are saying on the discussion thread. So Hang has already made a public leaderboard placeholder for a 0.335, which, yeah, I guess a lot of people are above 0.335 now. I want to know what the PDB file is. I don't understand what that is. Hey, welcome to the family, Hare Krishna Rama. Welcome. What is PDB? PDB is a format containing the atomic coordinates. I think I've used that before in another competition. Hey, welcome to the family, Eleanor. You're part of the family right now. It's the Python debugger. Yeah, I don't think it's that PDB tool. Dumb question. Atom, hit atom, tear, helix sheet. How to read PTB in Python. Oh, there's a pandas PDB. Nice. Biopandas. PyMol. I think I used PyMol before in past competitions. I believe the PDB file corresponds to enzyme from the test set. I'm no expert in enzymes, but as far as my understanding from the competition goes, the test set corresponds to one single enzyme where each row is a single point mutation.
I found this on the web.
What are you talking about, Siri? Siri thought I was talking to her. Train data contains mutations like test data. What does that mean? It's important to observe the train data contains mutation. This means we need to use group K fold in our CV. We need to focus on our model and training to learn how mutations affect the melting point. I published a notebook here that finds the train mutations using RapidSCUDIF string functions. Specifically, we use edit distance matrix to compute the Levenshtein edit distance between all pairs of rows. This will find mutations, insertions, and deletions. Does everyone know what the Levenstein edit distance is? I think you can buy proteins online. Yeah, I get. All we have to do is buy some protein on Amazon. Okay, so Levenstein distance. Use a lot when you're trying to do like fuzzy matching of words in text. So if you have two, it's the edit distance. It's basically how many edits to a word do you have to make in order to make it match a different word. So there's, here's a good example. Kitten and sitten. All you have to do is substitute an S for a K, and this has an edit distance of 1, right? I guess the Levenstein distance between these is 3. Oh, so this is doing kitten to sitting. So kitten to sitting, the edit distance is 3. So you'd have to change the K for an S, E for an I, then add this G on. But that's how you compute the Levenstein distance. So there's some Python Levenstein. Yeah, there's some packages like this one, which will give you the Levenstein distance between two words. If you're doing like fuzzy matching with last names where people fat finger type in the last name and will mess it up, and you're trying to like clean them up, Levenstein distance can be helpful in that instance. So I think what Chris is saying here is that he looked and ran rapids CUDIF on all of these to find which ones were just slight mutations. Hey, Sam Paling, welcome to the family. How are you doing tonight? Just looked. All I found was whey. Is that okay? Substitute? Yeah, just put in some whey protein. Eleanor, nothing's outside of your league. Don't think that way. Think, I can do anything, and then nothing's out of your league. Or out of your realm of reality, as you said it. Before the new column group with group K fold, you must assign every row with group -1 to a unique group another. Otherwise, group -1 will be in the same fold. I'm not sure what's going on there. Group 9, Group 7, Group 5, Group 0. So he figured out the groups basically that we should split our cross-validation on. I don't understand the whole -1 thing yet. But this is a good plug for my YouTube channel. If you do !YouTube into chat, Nightbot will let you know about my YouTube channel, where I talk about cross-validation here. I don't know where it is. It's not a popular upload. It is an upload though. Yeah, this cross-validation video. I'll put this in chat. But I do talk about group K-fold cross-validation and why it's important to keep things in their groups when, like in this example, when you're making your cross-validation. Otherwise, you can leak information about one fold into the other. And then if the test set is a completely different protein or whatever this is, it won't work. Or it'll give you an incorrectly large or overstated cross-validation score if you don't do cross-validation correctly. So I think Chris just helped us out and did that. If you're using a transformer, I read an interesting paper towards controllable protein design with conditional transformers. I'm not sure. All right, good work. Definitely upvote that. Need to upvote this one too. Let's upvote this preemptively. Kaggle's competition's test protein. Below is an image of the Kaggle competition test protein. Okay, so there's just one protein in the test set, I think we're realizing. This was rendered by AlphaFold. This is the wild type of without mutation. There's also a 3D version in this person's notebook. We'll let that one load in the background. Okay, so this is what they were saying in the data section, that this is the test protein before mutation. So I think what they're doing is they're adding a bunch of different mutations, and we need to rank which mutation would make it less and more stable. AlphaFold also predicts the B factor. Above, a community using Google Colab simplified version of AlphaFold 2.10. The URL here is for reference. Code cell took 5 to 25 and 30 minutes. If you're interested in correlation of PLDDT and PTM, both output and by AlphaFold single point mutation melting temperature, you can refer to this paper. We're getting real deep in this stuff. Who are you calling a mutated? Hey, Benjamin on YouTube, show us some dash plotly, G says on YouTube. Okay. That's random, but okay. Do you just want dash plotly in general? Deep DDG. So this is the protein. Kind of looks like a bunny. If those are the ears. What does this look like to you all? A lump of clay? I don't know what's going on here. Hey, look, this is Plotly. I find that the graphs look much better than plain Seaborn and Matplotlib. Yeah, Plotly's nice, but I usually use it for 3D stuff. I mean, not 3D stuff, for interactive plots. Plotly is really good for interactive plots. But a lot of times you don't need the plots to be interactive, especially if you're like putting them in a slideshow or something, in a PowerPoint. What's going on here? I don't know. Visualize the residue number. Residue name. This is the B factor. Is this the B factor that he's talking about here? More info about B factors are in Mariella's discussion here in the current best public leaderboard. 0.25. We've come a long way since 0.25 though. This 3-day-old post, and he's in the 0.4 range. Correlation score of 0.4 is a very good starting point. There are many papers out there dealing with the problem of mutation effects on protein melting temperature. They report a CC in a range of 0.4 and 0.6. So the fact that, whoa, I'm in the wrong thing. The fact that we're already at 0.47 means that it's like around what some published papers are. Ooh, it would be cool to see how well that people do on this competition. Protein BERT, protein pre-trained state-of-the-art model. Okay, so now people are figuring out in the test set what's been changed, what type of edit there was. So I think Chris found the Levenstein distance between the training set in order to group them into groups, but not necessarily noting what type of mutation, an insertion, deletion, or substitution. But it looks like Darian here has figured out how to do that for the test set. And here's a bunch of code that will do that. Oh, he's using the Levenstein package. Look at that. How on earth what? How on earth what, Aksha? So that's pretty cool. He's in 11th place, so 0.425. Must be doing something right. Let's see what the top leaderboard. Code. Plot lead tutorial, be a visualization grandmaster. Okay. That doesn't seem like it's specific to this competition. The best score of a public leaderboard, okay, of a public notebook is 0.398, but there's one version of this that's 0.399, and that's why we see a bunch of people on the leaderboard with scores of 0.399. So let's just look at this code. New notebook. John is asking if I messed around with YOLO. I actually have a video coming out tomorrow about YOLO. So we're going to call this enzyme stability. First look. Twitch stream. We're going to look at this on Twitch. Okay, so we're looking at competition. We're going to take a look at this. YOLO V7. Yeah, I did it on YOLO V5 and YOLO V7. I actually show how YOLO V7, when you're trying to do things, what I've found is YOLO V7 didn't really work well at whatever frame rate I had it running. At least it didn't process fast enough. All right, so we have our training data set. We have our test. And probably a sample solution, sample submission. By the way, you guys prefer this or the dark theme? Should I turn this on? I have OCD where I cannot use other people's code. Actually, you have to use other people's code in order, like, when I go up here and I say import pandas as PD, people like the dark mode. It's all too small for you to see anyway. I try to make it big for you guys, but try my best. Yeah, when I do import pandas as PD, I'm importing a bunch of code that's not mine. So everyone relies on other people's code. On the shoulders of giants. All right, so these are all the data sets. Training. So the data source, let's see how many data sources there are. All right, so the majority of these, we're just exploring here. The test set has 2,400 samples. The training set has 31,000. Of these 31,000, the majority of them come from this, doi.org. What is this? Metum Atlas, thermal protein stability across tree of life. So it's basically a proteins database that already has all this information. Okay. And then we have a bunch of other stuff too. Is this also doi.org? It's just a different... Yeah, so it's just a link to all the other papers that we're finding these data sets from. All right, train. The TM value is what we're trying to predict. Hey, welcome, Qubit. Beta, welcome to the family. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Only thing you hear from Giants is compiler errors. Whew. What Giants are you? Giants hate it when you stand on their shoulders. Not some, right? Aren't there some Giants out there that are cool with it? Gabriel says, looking nice over here. Thanks. Don't forget to design your own processor so you don't have to manage it. Yeah, got to do everything from scratch. I'm pretty sure the people who are on the top of this leaderboard right now are using some of these open source packages that are pre-trained to solve this task. Okay, so we have unique sequence IDs. It looks like is the same as the index. So these are just IDs. TM, let's look at the TM values and plot this as a histogram. Let's just so we can see this a little bit better. All right, so the TM values have a distribution like that. Let's look at the test set. So obviously we don't have the test set TM values, but we do have the pH value. What's the pH? Are these all 8? They're all 8. How is that helpful? Okay, so these vary at least. Mostly 7s, but they do vary. In the test set, our pH value is all 8s. So basically all we're given is this protein sequence. This is not your everyday average Kaggle competition, people. This seems pretty crazy. Welcome to the family. This is Ian. How are you doing? I feel like we should just go the other route and make a Kaggle data set tonight, because I mean, we're already kind of deep in this, but I have no idea even where to start. Let's try to recreate what the top people are doing. I saw large pH values. What does this mean? Upvote this. Competition looks interesting. I'm confused by the large pH values. Example, 64.9 in the data set. Should be pH be in the range of 0 to 14? Oh, so that was an issue in the data set. Okay, so let's look at, if we take the training data set and actually do, hey, welcome to the family, Panduragna BP. Yeah, this is just going to spike at that 7 value. Let's do a value counts and let's sort it by the index. Maybe do a bar plot. Yeah, this still has pH values really high up, so they haven't fixed this yet. That was 6 days ago? So they did not fix it. Okay. At least not in this training data set. It seems like a big mistake to have the pH and TM values swapped. All right, so what someone's saying is sequence ID 32559 is the wild type test enzyme. It's probably by design. There's not one row in the test data set that does not require any text edit changes. Interesting. Is that the -1 that Chris was talking about? I still don't understand that paragraph. I've read it a few times. Is this Ian trying to do something with munging? What's that? Congratulations. Been a CS student for a few years. I've never heard of Kaggle. What's the general idea behind it? So the general idea, by the way, you can do exclamation point competition to see our Kaggle competition, which we have launched for this stream. And it's a PogChamps competition, but okay, so Kaggle is a place where you can host data sets, where you can host code, you can run live. Think of it like a collab notebook, but then you can make it public and people can vote on it and comment on it. But it basically started as a website for deep learning or machine learning competitions, where you have this leaderboard that people are submitting to try to score, create models that predict something the best. At the end of the competition, a private leaderboard is revealed and you see who actually is the best. So that's like a quick summary of what Kaggle is. For those of us that work with data a lot, it's a great way to hone your skills, to practice things, and to learn more. We're learning about this competition that's really blowing my mind right now because I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so let's see what this high scoring notebook is all about. They're using BioPandas. So let's go ahead doing this and install. So there's this extra file that we haven't looked at. Hey, welcome to the family, Carlos Bomba. So if we ls in this directory, calculus has been a bane of my existence and a super cool concept. My friend and I have been wanting to get into ML. Yeah, so this is like definitely a good place to learn things. Check out the competition that I just linked. That's a good beginner-friendly competition, I'd say. Although it does end in 6 days. All right, so we have this wild structure prediction. Oh, let's also look at this training example that they mentioned. They mentioned this sequence 3, 2, so. Huh. 3, 2, 5, 5, 9. I thought this was what they said is the. Okay, so it's in the test set. What is he saying? This is probably by design, but there's one row in the test set that does not require a text edit change. Gotcha. What are your thoughts on Masters of Data Science programs? They're good. I did one. If you can get your employer to pay for it, that's the best. So let's look at Levenstein package, the Levenstein package. September 27, 2022. Oh, this is up to date. What are some examples of using it? Import Levenstein. Okay, so it's not existing. Let's install it. Look at that new pip with the progress bars and everything. How's everyone doing tonight? We got a lot of people on YouTube right now. This is pretty awesome. I've never actually had people watching, or that many people watching from it. All right, so this should be installed, but it's not. So what's an example? What's an example of this? Documentation. Levenstein distance. Oh, so it's uppercase Levenstein. So basically now we should be able to give two different values and get the Levenstein distance. So let's do the test set. Let's just take the first two protein sequences. Right? This is just for our understanding of what a Levenstein distance is. We looked at this earlier in the stream on Wikipedia, what a Levenstein distance is, but it's basically how many letters would we have to edit to get from this to this. It's hard to see because they look so similar. Levenstein distance will tell us basically how many characters do we have to change. So let's try to do this manually. Example 1. So this will take us through this. So we basically want to see, like, out of all these, how many times does example 1 not equal example 2? So it's really hard for us to see here, but there's only, all of these are pretty much the same values except for this character. So if we went through and actually looked in the text string, we could probably find it. But we're not going to do that. And yeah, the edit distance then would be 1. If there's only one value that's different, Unless we see another true there. We could also like make this a NumPy array and sum it, or probably do it a lot of different ways. So let's actually run the Levenstein package on this. Can we not do string 1 equals 2 that returns true and false list and just add the trues? Okay, let's see that. Example 1 equals example 2. So this would just tell us if these are exactly the same. But what we want to do, Aksha, is see which characters in this string are different. Did you ever check out fine-tuning the chessog model? Work with the chess set? Haven't managed to tune for a week or so. Yeah, I haven't been able to architect. I really want to. One thing I got sidetracked with was using the chessog code that he created to use Blender to render 3D chess sets, which I'm really excited about. Some people have said other stuff. My employer won't pay for a $6 video cable. I'm new to data science. Could you give me an overview of usage data science and what is exactly happening here? There's a lot going on right here, but definitely check out some of my other videos. Introduction to pandas, data exploration. These are all things. Does the competition involve Python? Most people code in Python. Or is Kaggle its own thing? Kaggle is a platform or a website. Most people who work on Kaggle, when you create a notebook, it's default into Python. You can also, I think, create an RPat notebook, but they're less common these days. Not gonna lie, the list comprehension and compare those two arrays is clean. I don't know. Is it no Fortran? Maybe in the backend. I don't know. You can run C in the backend if you want. All right, so we're going to do Levenstein distance of example 1 with example 2. So this will give us a distance of 1. How would we run Levenstein distance between... So we would basically have a... We would have a 2412 by 2412 array if we ran Levenstein distance on all of these, or not an array, a matrix. If we compared all these values to each other. Welcome to the family cry PPPPPPP. Is that like the joke where it's like, the pig cried PPP all the way home or something? I don't know what I'm talking about. So we can use Levenstein to figure out the distance. That's as far as I've gotten so far in this competition. But let's also look at this wild type structure prediction AF2. Apparently we have to use biopandas. Never used biopandas before, but it's a new day. It's time to learn something new. All right, so we need to install this. I think we do -Q to make this quiet next time we run it. No, it's crypt without the T. Crip. Oh, it's not cry PPPPP. I like the name cry PPP better than crypt without the T. It's funnier. All right, -Q makes this quieter. I guess apparently Levenstein is already installed. I'm using this, by the way, based on Heng's code, which is also based on this other guy, KVL guy's code. I'm going to import this stuff. BioPython deprecation. Okay. So apparently this is the base enzyme, should we call it? This should equal the test query. What did we say this base sequence is? This one. This one. Protein sequence. What the heck? Am I spelling protein? So this value should equal our base. Correct. Okay, so this is what people have found out, that this protein sequence in the test set is the base one, the one with the least amount of edits to make the rest of them. So everything else is just a mutation off of this base protein. Got it? Get it? I don't know if I get it, so. Just watch a beginner. Let me see how much Python class costs. Oh, Lopta. Lopta's just trolling us. All right, so this is that code that someone wrote. Here's the reference. That gets the mutation info. So basically, let's see what it does. Terminology map. It gets the Levenstein. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. We don't need a matrix that's 2413 by 2413. We just need a matrix, or need a value of the edit distance of each row in the test set from the base. No, serious, just logged into edX. All that stuff is free though. You can do it. You can audit those courses for free, I'm pretty sure. All right, so it's adding in the number of edits is equal to the length of the requested edits. Okay, so he's using Levenstein edit ops, and that's different than, let's read about edit ops. We can look at the doc string here, or I guess we can go to the documentation here. What does edit ops do? Find a sequence of edit operations transforming one string into another. How's this different than Levenstein? I don't know. The result is a list of triplets. Oh, so this actually gives us the operations which are necessary in order to change one sequence to the other. That's interesting. So you delete 0 with 0. So to go from spam to park, you delete 0, the first letter. Okay, that makes sense. You insert a value into the third location. And then you replace 3 with 3. Okay, that kind of makes sense. This code is finding those number of edits, which I think is the same as the Levenstein distance. Hello, El Henro. Hey, Abin Sinad, welcome. Right, then you don't get the quizzes and no certification. It's not about the certification. Insert what though? Insert like, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how this insert works. Because how do you know what to insert there? I agree with you, Eleanor. All right, so this terminology map is just to replace this with, so it's looking at the first edit. Not quite sure what this is doing. Is this trying to get it one value up the stream of what needs to be edited. Like if there are 2 edits required. Why are we doing this old AA and new AA? And then they're also using this read list from file. So I guess we could take our test and apply git mutation info. Axis is 1. So I think we could have done this. This could have been vectorized maybe. I guess it runs as Levenstein edit ops. Probably couldn't be vectorized. Let's see how long this takes. And see what the edit types look like. Old to new is like amino acid V in the base changes to K in the row. Architect, I kind of get that. My LinkedIn profile really needs some software certs though. Besides your C course. So what do we got here, guys? We have, now we have every protein sequence's what value was edited, if it was a substitution, a deletion, or an insert. So let's look at this. Edit type. Let's look at these value counts. And let's plot this as a horizontal bar. So this is the count of edit types in the test set. Mostly substitutions and some deletions. There's no, yeah, I guess they're all the same length, right? If we do protein sequence, I think the proteins are always the same length. No, they're not. So this will give us the length of each of them. And then we're going to count what the lengths are. Okay, so this makes sense. 77 of them are 220 in length. The rest of them are 221 in length. Let's also look at the test N edits. Wow, so they're all just one edit away from this base protein. They're all one, or this one that's 0 is the one with that is the base. Now let's look at the edit index. Are there certain locations in the protein sequence that are more often? Let's sort this index and plot kind equals bar maybe. Okay, so is there some sort of randomness to this, or is this actually, I guess I could also do test edit index and then plot kind as a histogram. Hey, welcome to the family on Twitch, Kristen Carolina. I couldn't read your full name. But welcome to the family. Thanks. Let me know in chat how you found us. Number of edits. We could do plot kind as a hist with the bins being 221. Oh, this is N edits. No. I do want edit index. Is the edit index as type int? Oh, it can't be int because there's some null values. Let's drop that NA values and then make this an integer. And then do the bar plot or the histogram. There we go. I don't know. This looks kind of random as to where the edits take place. So in most cases, it's substitutions, some it's deletions. IBM has a basic data science for $99. Do it, Lopta. Do it! Null value is probably the base protein. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so... let's look at where the edit index is NA. And then let's locate that. It should be just a one value or, yeah, this 32559. All the edit types are null for that. And if we look in this code, I think that's what it does here. If number of edits equals 0, then all these values equal NA. It's a weird way to do it. Is this cleaner? Is this more Pythonic to write it like this? This makes all of these values equal to null. Ugh. That's one way to do it. Okay, let's start using pandas. Let's look at biopandas. Welcome to the fam. Who do we got here? Someone new. Raja, welcome. How's it going? You think it's the Python way? You guys would write it like that? Okay. Okay. How many hours a day did you put into coding before your first real job internship? Well, I was working full time and I was taking a master's degree. So I was like, I don't know, all the time thinking about coding. Trash, welcome to the family. Trash can magic. Trash can magic. That sounds like like you just chose some random words to put together, but it works. It works. All right, so let's just do our PDB file. Let's just link this. Let's just make sure we know where this exists. That's this wild structure prediction PDB file. We're gonna load it with pandas, biopandas. What does this have? A data frame? With the atom location. So this is the PDB file of this base protein, the one without any modifications. How will we use this to our advantage? PDB is something other than Python debugger. Yeah, it's like a protein database. So let's look at pandas PDB. Biopandas. This page does not like the dark reader, so sorry if this hurts your eyes. If you are a computational biologist, chances are you are cursed with one too many times about protein structure files. Yes, I'm talking about ye. Good old, I like the person put this much energy and comedy into writing their docs. So I'm talking about the good old protein data bank format. So that's PDB, protein data bank. Nothing against PDB. It's neatly structured format, deployed correctly. It's a bit cumbersome to work with. And just to show you guys what the PDB file looks like in this data section, it looks like this. So it has like the atom I think these are the locations, like XYZ coordinates of each of these atoms. So hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, oxygen. That's what all these atoms are in this protein. As atoms, what else could it have? Yeah, so this is what the PDB file looks like, the raw version. But I'm guessing BioPandas has BioPandas, yes, as a way of handling this as a data frame. Okay, so we reference it like this. We can look at this PDB file with the atom value. Look at this. This is beautiful. I think I could have used this a few years ago when I was working on this molecular biology competition. So the heat, all of these are empty. It's just atoms that they provided us. Welcome to the family, AMZ. Thank you for hanging out. Let me know in chat how you found it. What am I trying to do with this data? Cry PPP. This is a Kaggle competition. I'll put it into the Twitch or the chat for everyone. So we're trying to, I think the competition says we're trying to rank the stability of each of these proteins or each of these enzymes. I don't know. Welcome to the family, Aran Kasim 98. Late night Twitch. Amzi, nice. Welcome to hanging out with us tonight. Glad to have you with us. We're just looking at this Kaggle competition, making a mess of the data. It's like the first time you look at a new Kaggle competition, your head's like always hazy about everything. Like, what's going on? What's the metric? What is this data? I've never seen this before. And then it takes a few days and then everything kind of settles in and you're like, oh, okay, I actually understand the problem now. And all those threads that people were posting about in the discussion threads, now they make sense because I have a good understanding of the problem. But for me, at least, the first few days is like, what? You're just trying to make sense. All right, so let's make the max columns 500 so we can actually see all of the columns here. So the record name, they're all atoms. Atom number, bank 1, I don't know what that means. Atom name, residue, B factor. Is that what they were talking about, how we can use the B factor to our exam? What is the B factor? Let's take the B factor, sort values. All right, so most of the B factors are close to 100. I don't know what B factor actually means. The creator of BioPandas is Sebastian Rashka. Really? Yeah, hey. Thanks, Sebastian. So it's been around since 2015. How did I not use this before? So some people were saying we can use this to our advantage. I don't know how yet. Because my question is, how do we take this B factor, which is for each atom? I guess we can then associate that with the test set string values, protein sequence. So in each of these protein sequence, what does each letter represent? I don't know. In relation to this PDB format. Trash made magic. I bought too many books and struggled to learn from them. What books are you guys talking about? Personally, I would pay for books, not courses, but then I always had support of my employer to develop my skills, so maybe I'm a bad person to ask. Yeah. Are there already 1,700 entries? Where did you see 1,700? How do you see the total number of entries? Crip. Watch videos, do projects that repeat. I like that. The architect. You know what's up. Let me get back this. Remind myself where we are. So now we have the residue number. What's this? We'll make this our atoms. So residue number, this is apparently important. What's up, functionario? Hello, Doi. We have someone in YouTube chat saying what's up, what's up? I'm not quite sure what this is doing. So they're making a data frame out of this PDB atom. Then they're finding this residue number, subtracting 1 from it. Then they're grouping by that residue number, taking the average B factor. Then they're going to map this on the test set. Okay, so this is the way of linking the BioPandas data and the test set. That makes sense to me. So the other thing is I did not name this test DF. I made this test. Is it going to let me select multiple? All right, so it's saying that edit type deletion, new AA equals minus. If it's insertion, it equals a plus. So I don't think this has to do with the B factor at all. This is just like the average B factor for the whatever is edited. Now the real question is, if we group this atom data frame by this, and take the B factor. What's the standard deviation? Are they all going to be... They're all 0. So yes, the B factor for each of these residue numbers 0 based, you don't need to do this mean, I guess. It could be first. This could be first. This could be max. It could be anything because they're all just one value. Where do I have test data frame still? So now we've added in the B factor, basically for whichever protein value in the protein sequence was edited or substituted. And then a mutation string. How does this work? I don't know how that works. Oh, so it's, oh, that's what this old AA and new AA is. For a substitution, it's the old value and how it was changed, what it was changed to. So edit index 16 is always going to be a L. So L16E means L was changed to E. There are no insertions. There's only mutations and deletions, at least in the test set. There are only substitutions and deletions, so you will never see a plus here. But this is just like a mutation string now. It says it took an L from the 16th position and removed it from our base string protein sequence. You guys are talking about Rust in chat? Rust? I need to check it out. Okay, so this is really interesting. We're able to, other people were basically able to do this. We're just going through other people's code basically, but they were able to find this base protein sequence, then identify where in the protein, which every other test protein sequence was and what the edit that was made to it, what the edit was, either a substitution or deletion, and then the index location from the string that was changed, what the value was changed from and to, and then taking the PDB file, using this B factor for whichever value was edited. It's interesting that you can just take this edit index and that's how you map it. I would have never known to do that. So this atom, basically this atom number, or why the residue number? I'm not sure why the residue number. But you take that and that is equal to the value within the protein sequence string, the location within it. Now I'm trying to understand what else they're doing here. So after this, they're reading from the submit Novozyme 00 wild type structure prediction. What is that data set? This was created 3 days ago. No description. There's a PNG file of it. Someone did it in Excel. Did they do it in Excel? Give this a up toke. Let's see what code. Oh, this is using deep DGG. I think this is Hang's baseline. What's deep DDG? Okay, so this is a database or an endpoint that we can hit and see their prediction of the stability of a given protein. This looks like it's the actual website that we would hit. Oh, then we can upload this PDB file. And it'll generate all the Oh, so this will automatically generate the mutations based off of that PDB file. So that's how they were doing this, I think. If we go to here, download this, structure PDB file, go over here, choose our PDB file, see if it works. I've put in that wild type PDB, all possible mutations. I don't want to put my email in. It's submitting this. Then we get this result. Oh, we're putting a job queue. Donut design guide? Lopta, what are you talking about? Priyan Shu, welcome to the chat. Thank you for saying hello. So I think this is all that was done to create this text file, this output. So in Heng's notebook, he's taking in this file. Making a submission file out of it. Okay. So this is basically like whatever this returns, if we submit this to a leaderboard, we get a leaderboard score of 335, which is getting good for nothing. Not for nothing, but pretty good for just using someone else's model results. Now the next step is to actually read about their paper and how they created this. A lot of time could be spent on that. Let's go back here to this notebook and see what this person does differently. Okay, here's the deal. My brain's starting to hurt with all this stuff. Hey Calvin, welcome to chat. So I'm gonna end looking at this data for now, if that's all right. Let's switch things up. I'm just gonna do the quick spiel while I have you all here. This is the most amount of people I've ever had watching on YouTube. So if you're on there, say hello. If you're on Twitch, that's the place to be. That's the place to be. I hope you will join us over on Twitch. I'm putting this into the stream. So guys, ask me questions. Yeah. What's the difference between Linux terminal commands and Apple terminal commands? I have a MacBook and want to learn Mac OS terminal, but Many tutorials of Linux are done in... So I think the default in Mac OS is now Z shell, but in Linux it's usually bash. If you go into your shell and you type bash, you'll just get into bash. But they're very similar. I mean, they're all built on the same thing, and they're just super similar. Came across you first in the Kaggle competition Mayo Clinic. Be interesting and insightful for you to maybe do some after competition clean on Mayo Clinic comp. I didn't work on Mayo Clinic very much, but yeah, it would be interesting to read up on what other people did. Jeremy writes as correct. Okay, so self-promotion stuff. Let's do self-promotion. This is my Twitch stream where you can see me Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Sundays, unless I have a migraine like I did the other day, streaming. We also, if you do !YouTube, if you haven't already followed me on there, I'm dropping a brand new video tomorrow. You guys can get a sneak peek of it. I'll tell you, it's about chess pieces identification using YOLO, which is a surprise since I've been working on that on stream a ton. So we got that going on. ! Competition. That brings us to the competition that we have launched on Kaggle. It's a community competition. And up for grabs, people, is that GPU back there, that 3080 Ti. Thanks to NVIDIA, you could win this GPU. You have 6 days left to join. The competition's about corn. You're given all these different corn images. You need to create an algorithm only using the training data, by the way. Don't go searching for other data. But you need to create an algorithm that can take these images and predict if they're broken, if they're pure, if they have, if they're discolored. It's a classification competition. Bless the XU boosting. Yeah. One thing with this too, in order to qualify for the prize, you have to attend NVIDIA's GTC conference, which happened last week. So you already missed it, but use that link that I'm putting in chat. Sign up for it. You can attend the session after it's occurred. That's fine. Carrying the water of the whole industry. They really are for machine learning stuff. So you just need to join this. Take a screenshot of yourself attending one of the sessions so you can watch one of the sessions that have ended. There are a lot of good ones out there. Plenty that you should check out. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube, and then you can qualify to win this. Even if you don't get first place and win this, second and third place get a free voucher to NVIDIA's Deep Learning Institute. The best notebook on there is going to get a Deep Learning Institute voucher, and a random viewer on Twitch will get a voucher. I'm going to announce these next week sometime. So when right after the competition ends, check to make sure that the submissions that are top 3 are legit. Remove anyone suspected of cheating. Hopefully no Hans Niemans out there. And then we will finalize things. So please join this if you haven't already. Now the other things we have is a Discord. Discord's still like getting up and running, but you should definitely join that if you haven't already. You can chat with me and hang out, and we can discuss ideas. Just to show you guys, this is where people say they're from. We're voting from, and we talk about Kaggle. You can ask a question about the corn competition. You deleted your Discord account, Lopta. Why do you do this? So join us. Can I get the price even if I'm from another country? Yeah, so the rules are that I will pay for shipping up to $100. So you'll have to pay for anything over $100 US, but I will send this. I will mail this anywhere. I totally understand trying to simplify though, Lopta. Skillo Supreme, welcome to the family. You're part of our family now. Now do your laundry, make your bed. You're part of the family. You need to start doing the dishes. That's how it works here. No, thanks for joining the family. You can let me know in chat how you found it. So we kind of delved into this other competition tonight. It was a fun endeavor. We didn't get very far. I didn't know anything about it before tonight. Now I know a little bit. Put the GPUs in the dishwasher. Trash can magic. You know what's up. Oh, also exclamation point Kaggle will bring you to my profile here on Kaggle. I am trying to make some data sets that other people will enjoy. So you can check those out here. If you have a Kaggle account and you like them, you can press this upvote button on them. Only if you like them. I'm not begging for votes, but I am just saying that they're out there. Just to go over some of the stuff that we worked on during the stream, we created the code which pulls the US to other currencies exchange rates on stream. We created all this code. Now this data set updates automatically daily. We created this roller coaster database with all these different roller coasters and their max speeds and all this information. We also created this YouTube video statistics. We worked with this R data. We got to the front page of Reddit using a visualization that we made here on stream. That was a really fun night for all that were there. Was anyone who's in stream right now? Were you there when we did that live? We also pulled these work-related injuries data on stream. This is OSHA compliance data. Very interesting data set. If you're working on like a master's project and you want to work on some data that could potentially have positive effects and identify companies or locations that are high risk for their employees, maybe help some people out by checking out this data and checking out some about it. Okay, so the exclamation point stuff, I'm going to do that for you. I think it only works on Twitch. Bananada, that's right. Lopta was there. Lopta was there for Bananada. Bananada. It was this post. We created this from the Reddit place location history because people were just really messing with Canada's flag the whole time. But this got 50K upvotes. That was big time when we did that live. Hey, Simon Roberts, welcome to the stream. We're about to end here. So yeah, I do thank you all. Check out the Discord. Subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the stuff. I'm on Twitter too. And let's hang out sometime soon. We'll try to make these streams more fun, more active, engaging. Tonight we looked at kind of a tough competition, but maybe next time we'll do something more lighthearted. Is the Canada VOD available? I think it's been long enough that the Canada VOD is down. When did we do this? It was in April because, yeah, 6 months ago. I think the VOD's gone. I might be able to find it, though, and post it on YouTube if you're interested. That was a really fun stream. Also have Haniel here, and we have a new follower on Twitch. TD Lemon, welcome to the family. If you follow on Twitch while I'm streaming, I welcome you to the family because we're a family here and we look out for each other. Okay, I'm tired. Gonna get a snack and get in bed. What do you guys think about that? Let's find someone to raid on Twitch. We do this thing called raiding where we find another streamer and then we send all of our viewers to them. So Chrissy Code is doing some coding. We will raid her, and it will be fun. Bring the energy. If you're going to leave, go ahead and leave now. Otherwise, hang around, people, because Chrissy is coding. And I will see you guys when I stream next time, either Thursday or potentially Sunday. Probably Thursday. I'm messing up my thing. All right, let's do this. Probably need internet data to make a quality one. What are you talking about, architect? Oh, architect is asking for Kaggle competition. What data augmentations are allowed to train data? Can I instance create a GAN to create some more synthetic data? Architect, that's completely allowed. As long as you're just using the training data to do it, you can use a GAN to create that. So that is allowed, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm the one hosting the competition, so what I think matters the most. All right, let's do this raid. Thanks all for hanging out, and I will see you all next time. We're going to get this started in 10 seconds. Bye, everyone.